Hey everyone, Chris Sawyer here. The Varietal Show is back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You guys might know the hashtag winning. Well, guess what? This is Wynne, Peterson-Nedry, my great friend from Ribbon Ridge Winery, and here we are in Willamette Valley. In fact, we are in Yamhill-Carlton, to be quite too official here.
Yeah, that's the exact location. We're in Carlton right now.
In Carlton. You know, Wynne and I have been friends for quite a while, and her dad, Harry Peterson-Nedry, is to me is a complete and total legend of the wine industry, especially in Willamette Valley. Came here from the East Coast. Your mom's from this area, but they came here, planted some grapes in 1980. Crazy back then. This wasn't even in vogue yet. And way up on a hill called Ribbon Ridge, and it became an appellation eventually, but he started another winery after that in 1990 called Chehalem. If you've ever heard of the Chehalem wines, guess where the family's from? This family. But that family property, you know, when you decided to move on, the family decided to move on, you had that vineyard that was very, very special to you. And here we are today, tasting these amazing wines and tasting this Gruner Veltliner, which is tasting extremely well. I feel like I'm in Austria. I feel like I should be talking like in a different accent, you know, but I am not.
I need some sausages.
I need some sausage. Yes. So this is the Ridgecrest, the family vineyard, right there. Gruner Veltliner, and this is Estate 2021.
I should point out that all of these labels are also hand-drawn by my father. I mean, not every single label, they're printed, but they come from a sketch that he originally drew, and so they're really evocative of the land for us.
Yeah, it's great.
Who we are.
Well, you know, I just love the fact that this is a charming wine, but it's also like, it makes me smile. You know, look at you.
It's vibrant, it's bright, it's fresh, it's happy.
This is happy wine, you guys. If you want to be happy, buy this stuff, okay? That's all I say.
I'm happy and I'm making it today too. I'm pressing this Gruner, or the 2022 version, a little bit later this afternoon.
Yeah. So, you know, Pinot Noir is probably the #1 grape that everyone thinks about Willamette Valley. But, you know, your dad was really good too in bringing white grapes to forefront. Other than, I mean, just Pinot Gris. We know Pinot Gris, and that's probably what most people think about if we say white grapes from, you know, Willamette Valley, just overall, and pretty much in Oregon.
And now Chardonnay too.
Now Chardonnay, and we got Gruner now. So we're talking diversity. And one other thing that your dad, and why I love him so much, one of the many reasons I love Harry so much, is because of what he taught me and so many other great sommeliers, masters of wine, master sommeliers, writers, and human beings just in general, you know, about the other grape that everyone needs to pay attention to, and that's Riesling. And Riesling is a great thing, you guys. And so here we are, we're gonna taste a little Riesling. And this is from the family vineyard, and Harry really put together the whole organization. It's like a whole society of producers that work with the Riesling grapes here and bottle them. You've got some amazing ones like Brooks and yes, ooh, I love it. You're just like me. See why I love Wynne? See why
I've hung out with Chris a little
winning.
too much.
Yeah, here. Cheers to more of that, girl. But you know, just really aromatic gem here. I mean, you and I were tasting this a little bit earlier, and I was just going, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. How'd you put all the mandarin oranges in there, and the apricots, and the peaches, and like, what the hell's going on?
It's like lychee and gardenia, and yeah, it's very aromatic. That's one of the things that I love about Riesling. It's such a versatile grape too. You can make it dry, you can make it sweet, you can have a lot of acid. It goes with most food that I eat.
And that's exactly it. The acid in here is active. You know, it's kind of cutting edge. It's racy. It's sexy. I want more of it. You know, it's good. You know, so pretty. God.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
It is. It's refreshing just by smelling it, and that's what's even better.
It's like just a palate cleanser.
Yeah, just by smelling it, and then you're ready for drinking it. And I mean, for me, one of the greatest expressions I've ever had, and one of the greatest moments I've ever had in the whole entire wine industry, is when I went to Joel Palmer House one time, and your dad invited me and the great Doug Frost, if you guys know who Doug Frost is, one of the only masters of wine and master sommeliers in the world.
And now winemaker.
And now wine, yeah, that's true. He makes a wine,
too.
exactly. But he and I were there, and we thought it was going to be a Pinot Noir tasting, but no. They bring in the brown bags and they pull out these Riesling bottles, and we have an amazing experience there with Chef Chris and going through almost Asian fusion food. And I mean, what do you like to have with this Riesling? What's your kind of, give us a couple faves with this Riesling.
Growing up, I always joked with a bunch of my friends because most of my best friends in high school were Asian.
Yep.
And so I always thought that I was half Chinese. And so Chinese food goes great with this. We're in the land of the best taco trucks in the state of Oregon, probably.
There you go.
And really good, like carnitas tacos, al pastor, any good tacos go well with this. Asian food, like you said.
Well,
sushi,
we went to this new place in McMinnville last night called Humble Spirits, and there's a clam dish, and believe me, if it was mussels, we might be doing it with that Gruner, but I think this is really the clams here.
I had a really good crab dip at Canard last weekend, and this would have gone really well with
See
crab.
why I like her so much? We talk food all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
food.
that champagne bar we were at with the caviar and the potato chips?
Oh yeah, and the addiction we here to that, you guys. Yeah. Obviously this is just a success story. Obviously I'm getting some bottles when we leave, but it's been a success for you, hasn't it?
We kind of we created this new Ridgecrest brand. My dad and I both separated from the Chehalem brand in 2018, and we started Ridgecrest as was always the name of the vineyard, but now it's also the name of our brand, and we started this brand in 2018, so we've got lots of winemaking knowledge collectively under our belt, but now we also have this brand that my father and I own together, and he does the farming and I make the wine, and it's really great to kind of come back to the piece of land that we started with exclusively and just have that as home.
I love it. And, I think that this is one of these great examples too of something that you really look at this wine, and here we get into Pinot Noir and we really start talking about this. You've got two different versions of Pinot Noir here. They're very different. This one is a super expression, like, hey, meet me, I'm Pinot Noir.
Yep.
What are the clones in this blend? And this is 2019, right?
It's 19,
And you like the 19 a lot.
I love the 19. It's our current release right now too. It's smaller production. I never make more than a couple thousand cases a year of everything, all together. And this one is probably the largest production wine we make, but it's still very small fermentations. This tank behind us is one of those fermentations that'll go into the 2022. Clone-wise, it's 667, 777, a little bit of 115, Pomard, Wadensville.
Yeah, there you go.
Pomard and Wadensville are kind of the classic original clones up here in Oregon, and that's what our old vine stuff is. And then we have a little younger vine Pomard and the Dijon clones.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the smell on this. And what I love about it too is it's approachable, it's yummy, it's got a huge yummy factor, hashtag yummy. Winning, yummy. Okay, remember these two hashtags, very important here.
Winning, whining.
Winning, whining, Sawyerisms, whatever.
Sawyerisms.
Just getting into this, I mean, just the nose is super alluring. There's a lot going on in here. And it's from an estate vineyard, which is the greatest thing about it all. You can taste all these blends from, they're out on every, store shelf, from Willamette, and they make really good wines. And sometimes you'll be surprised how much of that's coming from southern Oregon. A little bit of fruit sourcing is coming from southern Oregon, not just Willamette Valley. This is from a small, how big is the vineyard overall?
We have 40 planted acres, so not a lot, and I don't even take all of that myself. I get to kind of pick and choose which blocks I want, and then we sell probably half of the fruit from up there because where I am right now, I'm just not big enough to make all of that fruit into wine, so maybe one day I will, but for now I'm doing about 20 acres of that.
Yeah.
And in 2019 it was probably even smaller, so I think it was about 15 acres back then.
This is amazing. I mean, I just love it. It's elegant, sophisticated, yummy, and youthful too.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the more approachable of the two tiers of Pinot that we make. So we make the Ridgecrest from our estate vineyard, and we also, the next one, I'm not trying to get ahead of you, Chris.
No.
The next one that we do, just to differentiate, is the RR, and that's kind of our reserve tier. So we'll try that next. But Yeah, this one's supposed to be a little bit more approachable right off
Tell
the bat.
everyone just for a moment about Ribbon Ridge and its setting there. I mean, we're up high elevation. What is our elevation, and what is the specific soil up there that makes it so special?
Yeah. The top of the hill, which is where the top of our vineyard is, we're right at the crest of the hill, of the ridge, if you will. It's at about 680 feet, so just shy of 700 feet at the very top. It's pretty unique for AVAs in Oregon because the entire AVA, which is quite small, is the same uniform soil type, and it's all Willamette soil, which is a marine sediment. So it used to be old ocean floor. It's got lots of minerals, nutrients, and stuff in that soil, and it's pretty shallow up near the top too.
And it's very different than the Jory soils, which is very iron
Those
rich,
are
volcanic,
red.
Red soils. They're just different, and this one's like so unique. And it's really one of those interesting roads up there because you don't know where the hell you're going.
And it's a gravel road.
It's a
It
gravel
looks like
road.
you're
It's
driving
not
into
like
nowhere.
no one's gonna pave it. And it's kind of because of that no one's gonna pave it. Like you don't want a bunch of people up there. You just want the grapes to be having their own mojo. You know.
They listen to Beethoven at night, and nobody can bother them.
Pretty much, yeah. Beautiful. I love this. I'm getting a little bit of roasted black walnut in there too. Isn't that interesting? It makes me want a Waldorf salad, but like maybe we need to put pomegranate and all sorts of weird stuff in it.
Pomegranate, a
Maybe
little
have
dried
like
cherry.
maybe have that tuna on the side, like a little roasted tuna on the side of that. I'm just thinking. Hope I'm making you guys hungry and thirsty. Okay, good.
Next up is the RR. We call it RR. It's technically Ribbon Ridge Winery, which is our overarching brand, but this is the 2017 Reserve Pinot. I selected this one today just because it's super age-worthy. It's drinking really spot on right now. 2017 is one of my favorite vintages right at the current moment. And yeah, this is basically a barrel selection of our favorite barrels of Pinot Noir from 2017.
Yeah, I mean, amazing stuff. I think the thing that I love so much about it, besides the flavor, and I'm so glad you chose this 2017, is I've gotten to taste these wines through the years, and this specific tier that you make is very special. These are the best blocks and parts of these blocks, and they're not just the whole part there and not the one clone or this clone. It's just what's really singing to you this year, and it's the winemaker's touch a little bit more than the other one, which is all about the grapes. And this one, what do you do to make those things shine, especially in 2017?
This wine in particular, the RR is always over vintaged, so we choose those barrels that we think need a little bit more time. They're intentionally a little bit tighter, a little bit less approachable right off the bat, because then that means that they're gonna open up later on and they're gonna age longer. So these are the most age-worthy barrels that we can find in our cellar. They're the most complex. They're a little bit richer, a little bit firmer tannins, and the stuff that'll keep this wine singing for years. So yeah, aged a little bit longer, and then more savory, I think.
I think
it's
so too.
It's not quite as much primary fruit. It's kind of like some tea leaf or
I
cigar
think duck,
box.
and I think some really interesting stews that I would do. They're really interesting. Duck confit. Duck confit would be a very good example of what duck style, because you've got a couple things going on that plate, not just it's not just a leg or anything. You can have a little bit of a almost like a style of a stew almost on the plate because of all the things going on. And I think that really it could definitely go with some steaks, as long as it's medium rare to rare. Nice and juicy, and this is great.
This is the wine that I would have next to a roaring fireplace while I'm reading a book or something too. This is like the pensive Pinot Noir.
Pensive. Hashtag pensive.
Hashtag nerd.
Nerd. Hashtag wine nerds right here. And hashtag Willamette Valley and Ribbon Ridge. And the great Ribbon Ridge Winery. So here to this.
Cheers.
I thank you so much for having me,
Chris.
and it's
So
great
good to
being
see
here.
you.
And I know, and especially.
And you see the.
I know. I feel like this is my
early
baby already. The
stages of the 2022
is like kind of my baby too now. I feel like it. So now I'm going to taste this someday and go, God, we made it together. I
Yeah.
know it's so great. I feel so.
I
good
think
about
just talking to it and
Yeah.
talking with it and having it as part of our conversation really
Now
helps
that
it.
it knows all the hashtags too, I feel like I'm an educator for the grapes.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So that's
I
good.
agree.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're here. Tom.
Cheers.
Thank
Great
you so
to see
much.
you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Mm. Mm.